Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, the mayor of Sparks joins us. Ed Lawson is here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
All hail the $200,000 Cash is King giveaways at Carson Valley Inn. Weekly prize drawings including thousands in cash and free play. And 2 big grand prize giveaway events, each with a $15,000 cash winner guaranteed. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always pleased to welcome back to the program Ed Lawson. He's one of my favorite mayors. He's the mayor of the city of Sparks. Pleasure to have you back, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start out with the beginning of this story, because I don't think we're anywhere close to the end of the story. But the lands bills that Congressman Amedee was...
Roller coaster ride.
Yes, sir. Well, and that's Congress. Let's face it. I mean, you know, anything you're trying to accomplish, it makes the Nevada legislature look sane. But
I don't know if I'd go that far.
No, okay. But the bill goes into reconciliation bill. It includes everybody, so pretty much everything. Were you surprised by the reaction of the Southern Nevada delegation and our 2 state senators?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, U.S. senators.
Yes, I was a little surprised. Now, I understand the reaction from the senators because of the conservation part being taken out. But at the same time, we need a bill. We need land. I mean, we're seeing it now with median house prices now over $630,000, I think now. So it's simple supply and demand. There's no magic wand to do affordable housing other than supply and demand.
One of the things that a lot of people don't understand is that in a reconciliation bill, you can't do all the stuff that the Southern Nevada Public Lands Act allows, which is where you get land, but you also put land into conservation, right. And money goes towards education, water. All that doesn't apply. This is where the Treasury gets the money. But Congressman Amedee said on the program that he felt that he could go back in after the fact and say, okay, the Treasury gets this money, but now let's allot that money or a portion of that money toward those things in Nevada. Is that what came across to you?
Well, I heard that also from Senator Rosen in the fall. So I believe it can be done. I mean, obviously, getting it done is the tough part after the fact. But I mean, I have to believe both of them that they're telling the the true story there, and that there is a way to get money back to Nevada.
You know, using the film industry as an example, we saw the failure at the end of a legislative session for these two separate bills, one in the Assembly and one in the Senate, where there was just no coming together. They could have split the baby and potentially, if the governor had signed it, gotten the tax credits for the film industry for both of those, and they chose not to come together. I don't understand why Congressman Amity and Senator Rosen are not working on a bill rather than having two separate bills. Does that make sense to you?
I kind of understand it from when you're playing team sport, and that's what it is at the national and at the state level for that matter. It's a team sport. You're a D or an R, and that's the team you play for. So I wish it wasn't that way. That's not the way I operate as a local. I mean, I represent all the citizens, not just the ones that are in the same party.
And would you have a problem if something that you were working on was beneficial, say, to Reno? Would you have a problem working toward that?
No, we do that. We do it monthly. I mean, literally, we serve on about 30-something boards together, all the different local elected officials that have some touch in every single jurisdiction. Some days it might be in Reno's favor, some days it's in Sparks, some days it's in the county's favor.
Well, that was the part that surprised me, was because I thought that once you're elected, then you become, as you say, the mayor, the senator, whatever, of all the people of Nevada. And it just seemed like, you know, two things. One, a north-south split again, and a how dare you do something in Clark County that Clark County desperately needs, which is more land.
You know, I wish I had an answer for you. It's just the way it's done today. I wish it wasn't done that way. I mean, we get things done because we need a lands bill in the worst way for Sparks. I mean, we're gonna be out of land pretty soon. If the property tax system doesn't get changed, we don't get any land or any combination thereof, we could see disaster in probably 10 to 15 years because we will have to try and grow vertically, which means prices goes up, which means the cost of housing goes up. And
why does it go up if you go vertically? Because when they talk about it in Southern Nevada,
it's just more expensive to build vertically than it is like a regular tract home.
But on the other side of it, don't you have savings on water, things like that, where it's all going into one?
Well, you still have savings on police and fire because they don't have to patrol as big of an area. So yeah, you get a little savings there, but for the most part, it's just vertical is more expensive. And you go over 40 feet, then it starts getting really expensive.
A couple of things. Congressman Amity has said now on the last 3 appearances on this program that he misses Senator Reed, which is kind of ironic considering, as you said earlier, you know, the party splits. But he has also said that, you know, what Senator Reed put together with the Southern Nevada Lands Act, that was 30 years ago. And when you look at the other 49 states, they don't have something like that. Do you think our time for the Southern Nevada Lands Act is over?
I can't. I have to hold out hope because it is literally the survival of our city. So I have to hold out hope.
Okay, well, now I'm not talking about the lands bill. I'm just talking about the Lands Act where so much money stays in Nevada.
I think,
including Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, and we got money from that too up here in the north, from the SNPLMA is what it's termed down there.
Yeah, I just hate that term because it's so stupid.
Well, yeah, so they're already calling this one up here TIPLMA.
Okay, oh gosh.
So it's kind of funny, but I mean, I really don't care about the money at this point. I care about getting the land so that we can change the mix of our tax base. Sparks made a mistake back in the 90s by becoming the bedroom community to Reno. And thus, we have to build a house every 5 years to replace the house that was built 5 years prior so that it can keep up with inflation. We can't keep up with inflation the way it is today.
In a way, though, isn't the price of housing where we see the inflation going in terms of, you know, Senator Reed said on this program several years ago that we had already reached the tipping point for the national debt. So we had this huge federal debt. And many people on this program over the years have said the way you get rid of that debt is to inflate it away. Now, a home that cost $200,000 30 years ago is selling for $800,000 to $1 million. Hasn't that devaluation been the result of all that federal debt?
I certainly think that's a contributing factor, but I also think your basic supply and demand in Nevada is doing that too.
Right.
We're
Yes.
85% owned by the federal government. We have 56 million acres that are federally owned in Nevada. And Amadee's bill was 0.07% of that. That would have made a difference for decades to come. So part of it, yes, is the way that we do business as the federal government, but part of it is the fact that we don't have anywhere to really go.
You were talking about property taxes. You know, if you go back to the Howard Jarvis days, and younger folks, please Google his name. You know, Nevada followed California in terms of putting a cap on property taxes. Do you ever see a time when voters are going to say, that's okay, we'll go ahead and allow you to raise the property taxes?
I don't see it in the near future, but the saying that I've used a lot lately, and it's, I wish I didn't have to, but the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. So if you call 911 and get put on hold, and then we're going to say that's because you're not paying enough taxes for police and fire, are you going to then be willing to part with a little bit more of your money or not? I mean, it becomes a quality of life issue. We only have so much money. We don't get to print money at the local level, so we have to cut services.
You know, I think that one of the smartest ways to approach that, and this is just my opinion, was what the RTC did, where it was a direct tax both in Southern Nevada and Northern Nevada, where they said, you want better roads, here's a gas tax, it'll be tied to inflation. You're going to pay more for your gas than surrounding counties, but you're going to have better roads. Isn't that the best way, rather than just a general fund tax increase?
You may see one suggestion like that coming your way in the coming months.
And that would be from the city of Sparks or Washoe County?
How about I just leave it at that? Well, it's something that we are looking at countywide.
And have you done market research to say?
Just started talking about it. So we're looking for everything we can in any which way we can to keep our service levels at what they are, what people have grown accustomed to.
Would it be property tax based? Because you can't raise it more than 3%.
We can't do property.
So what would it be, a sales tax?
More likely a sales tax. Las Vegas has a sales tax for Metro Police. That's why the South and the North are two different animals, because they have the Metro Police that are paid for. So when you take in our budget, police run us about 40% of our entire budget, and fire is about 30%. So between the two of them, 70% of our budget for employees is police and fire. You take out the police part, $45 million, all of a sudden Sparks is pretty flush. So, and but Vegas has been operating under that system since 1972.
You may not like this word, but you know, over in the past, consolidation between the county and the two cities has come up. Is that something that is under discussion at this point again? We
are exploring the fire consolidation at this point. Without, the problem is you set up a board of local elected officials, and then you don't, as the elected official, don't have control because you're only 2 votes out of 6. So that's a problematic way of doing it. We'll see how it all shakes out. But at the end of the day, consolidation makes a lot of sense in some areas, but not so much sense in other areas.
Okay, so which ones does it make sense in? Which ones does it not?
Well, fire stations. You don't have to have 3 fire chiefs. You don't have to have, gazillion battalion chiefs, so you cut some of that upper level management out of it. That would make a huge difference. Placement of fire stations is a big deal. You got one in Washoe County and one's in Reno, and they don't cross the line and that kind of stuff. So those kind of things make a lot of sense to do. But how do you fund it? How do you pay for it?
And what do the unions think about that?
They're in favor of it, or the fire department.
Because they see the future?
I think they see it as having a little bit more control of their world. You know, you have to talk to a fireman about it, but they seem to be all on board. They've all merged into pretty much one union to begin with.
Okay, all right, let's take a break. You know, these are tough topics.
They are, thanks.
Well, you're welcome. Hey, you ran for the office, dude.
That's right.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with one of my favorites. He's the mayor of Sparks, Ed Lawson. We'll be right back.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Ed Lawson. He is the mayor of Sparks, Nevada. You have whispered this to me in the past, but wouldn't let me talk about it on the show. But now you can. Potential widening of I-80.
Yeah.
Tell me about this.
We had NDOT in our office the other day. There's another alignment that they're looking at that we'll see where we end up on it, but it would be moving the alignment of the road more to the north, which would take up some of Victorian Plaza, which is not 100% desirable, but they've also made it a bridge so that you could have the space underneath for use. So we'll see how that goes. I think there's some counter actions and some other suggestions that will come out of this, but we've at least gotten to this point where we know what has to be done. The widening of over top of the casino will not happen. It's just too expensive.
Oh, really? So,
Yeah.
So there won't be a need to move facilities at the Nugget?
Correct.
Because that was going to be
There's just no way to build that road or widen it without shutting down the Nugget. I mean, obviously, you've got people working on a road right above a casino where people are gambling. You would have to shut that down just for safety purposes, just in case something catastrophic happened.
Is there a cost been put to this at this point?
I don't know what it is at this point. I've heard some numbers, but it's not cheap.
Well, no, but I mean, what kind of numbers you're looking at?
500 to 600 million.
Whew.
Yeah.
Road building is an expensive proposition.
It is, and it just gets more expensive every year.
And who would bear this? Would this be an NDOT and potentially federal government?
This is an NDOT project, yes. Now, are we going to get some money from the feds? We usually do. So I don't know how much that is. So the widening of I-80 in the canyon, we got $275 million from the feds.
Okay, so now you're talking about going between the edge of Sparks and going out to the Tahoe Reno Industrial
Correct.
Center. And so where are we with the planning stages of that?
We should be seeing a plan any time now. The 30% design should be coming out very quickly, and then some numbers put to it. But the wild guess on that is probably around $750 million.
All right, and so that would be another NDOT and
NDOT,
plus that federal money?
Yep.
The people I talk to who drive out to TRI every day just say that road would be a lot safer if people would just drive the speed limit.
Yeah, I mean, I drive out there. I mean, I have business to go to out there on occasion, and if you're not doing 75, you're getting run over. So it's a little scary, but part of it is anything can shut down I-80. I mean, went out there one day and the fence had broken and a wild horse had got on the freeway, so it shut down the freeway both ways and delayed traffic there for 45 minutes. So it's just about anything.
Yeah, I've been in an accident, not personally in the accident, but in a lineup for an accident, and sat there for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we replaced the guardrail. The governor and I got stuck coming back from the Tri-Center in about an hour and a half, just because it went down to one lane because we were replacing a guardrail. So it's anything can shut it down.
You know, one of the things I've thought of, and I don't know if this is a stupid idea or not, but you know, anytime any of us see a cop car, especially with flashing lights, we all slow down, whether we're speeding or not. Mm-hmm. You know, do you put up phony cop cars along that stretch on the side of the road, and there's no driver in it? You got a dummy in there. Would that help?
They do that for road projects. Obviously, they take an old car and just set it out there and turn the lights on. I think people would come wise to that pretty quick. You know, we were in Florida recently, my wife and I, and they had that through several counties. And after a while, you go, okay, you know, they got 7 cop cars parked along, 10, 100 miles of road. So kind of, yeah.
Curses foiled again.
Yeah.
All right, let's take another break. We'll be back with the Mayor of Sparks after this timeout.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the air conditioning back on today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why sweat for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your air conditioning fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
It's a good time to eat. It's a good time to play.
It's a good time to win.
Ooh, your good time's a train wreck.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Ed Lawson. He's the mayor of Sparks. Your toll road idea was a great idea for coming out of TRI into Sparks and didn't make it through the legislature. What was the problem?
Never even came out of committee. It was, I think, well, what I heard and was certain people said, I have to run for election and this is too much like a tax. And I like, but only the people that drive on it, They're going to be supported by the tech industry to have a fast pass to drive on it. So the people that created the need for it are paying for the road. To me, it makes perfect sense. We've had 117 toll roads in Nevada in our history, and those roads are private for a period of time, and then they're given back to the state or the county, whoever wants them.
You think there's any chance of that coming back?
No, not by me. I got beat up for it. I'm not, it'll be like Veterans Parkway. You know, that was approved in the 1960s, and it didn't get built until 2000s.
And
So-
yet now you go on that road and it's
everybody
sweet.
loves it.
Yes, and all the issues that they said were going to be a problem.
Yeah.
You know, if you go back enough years, the McCarran Loop, which is similar to the 215 in Southern Nevada, they didn't want to push it through the western portion because the homeowners in Lake Ridge didn't want it to go through. Luckily, the RTC or county commissioners, whoever were in charge, forced it through. Where would we be if that road wasn't in existence? And Veterans Parkway,
Same thing.
Oh man, you know.
You remember all the crying and this is going to ruin and we're going to kill wildlife and, you know, the whole 9 yards. And quite frankly, it's been a godsend for connecting Sparks and southern part of Reno together and getting people to I-80 and off the Spaghetti Bowl.
Yeah, to say the least. Always a pleasure to have you on the program, sir, even though these are tough topics. I thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
And we'll be right back.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. You can always watch our shows anytime on the website at nevadanewsmakers.com or the podcast. We have audio and video podcasts from all your favorite podcast locations and YouTube. Find us everywhere. We'll see you on the next broadcast. Thanks for watching.